February 14th, 2018 was a particularly cold winter day for 9-year-old Shane Shafer and his mother. Still, the Lincoln, Nebraska neighborhood they lived in was safe, and Shane's mother felt comfortable leaving her son home while she ran errands. Shane was a very responsible child, and his mother would frequently work on her to-do list while he hung out around the house. He'd typically keep himself busy by watching television or playing with the neighborhood kids on the block. On this particular afternoon, Shane stayed home while his mother ran out to pick up his siblings from school. They usually just hopped on the bus, but that day, Shane's mom offered to bring them home herself. Shane didn't mind. He had the entire house to himself. He decided to plop down in front of the television while he waited for his mother to return. Suddenly, he heard the jangling of keys at the front door. Was his mom back already? Unbeknownst to Shane, the person on the other side of the door was the furthest thing from his mother and siblings. It was actually a burglar wearing a ski mask who thought the house was completely empty. The burglar clearly wasn't afraid of getting caught. It was broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon, and he was determined to make his way into the home. Shane listened to the commotion behind the door and expected his mother to enter at any moment. After finagling the lock for several minutes, the intruder burst through the front door, and he locked eyes with Shane. The little boy was frozen with fear. What did this masked man want? Panicked, the boy quickly darted upstairs, and the burglar followed. With his mother out of the home and a dangerous, strange man hot on his heels, Shane was in big trouble. But when the intruder reached the top of the stairs, he was in for quite the shock. Little did the intruder know, Shane's 1-year-old pit bull, Baby Girl, was waiting at the top of the stairs. Baby Girl was a loyal dog, and she would do anything to keep her owners safe from harm. Once Baby Girl saw the intruder chasing Shane, she pounced. The pit bull sunk her teeth into the burglar's leg and refused to let go. Shane watched in horror as his dog defended him with all of her might. Shane could tell the robber was completely caught off guard by Baby Girl. After a brief scuffle, the burglar broke free and fled back down the stairs and out the front door. Shane then smartly ran to his neighbor's house for help. Frantic after hearing what just occurred, the neighbor called the police, as well as the boy's mother's cell phone to let her know Shane was safe. Shane stayed inside the neighbor's home until an officer arrived. An officer quickly arrived on the scene, and he found young Shane waiting outside his house, ready to tell the harrowing story. The police department was going to do everything they could to ensure a break-in didn't happen again. Shane was visibly shaken, and he told the officer he firmly believed once the intruder locked eyes with him, he didn't care about the items in the home. The younger boy felt threatened. It was as if he'd become the prime target of the invasion. Unfortunately, authorities weren't able to apprehend the intruder because he was wearing a ski mask. Shane wasn't able to offer any description of him. The only clue police had was the silver car he used to flee the scene. Although Shane was rattled, he survived unscathed. His mother couldn't believe her son experienced something so harrowing, and she was grateful to her neighbors and the local police department for stepping in to help. She was especially grateful for Baby Girl. After everything settled down and the police left, the surrounding neighbors all got together to help calm Shane's nerves. They even brought by one of Baby Girl's buddies so she'd have someone to spend time with. Angela Sands, an officer at the Lincoln Police Department, spoke at a press conference where she walked reporters through the series of events. Reporters were shocked that the crime took place in broad daylight and in a busy neighborhood. Officer Sands reminded residents to keep an eye out for suspicious activity and to be extra cautious of their surroundings until police were able to find the intruder. Hopefully, the break-in at the Shafer home was an isolated event, but they wouldn't know until they had a suspect in custody. Thank goodness Baby Girl was home at the time of the intrusion. Pit bulls will loyally defend the people they love when they sense danger, and Baby Girl certainly came out the hero on that particular afternoon. Facing a home invasion is terrifying, but when you have a loyal animal like Baby Girl by your side, it can mean the difference between life and death.